Hey, what's up guys, I'm Anthony Spotify, guitarist for Defy the Tyrants, and today I am excited to try out the Toneforge Misha Mansoor plugin by JST. Now, as a songwriter who's not as experienced in the realm of audio engineering, I'm always looking for great sounding plugins to get me from A to B, spending less time messing with EQs and more time writing music. Basically, I just want my demos to be listenable. And that is where I feel that JST excels. See, Joey Sturgis Tones, or JST for short, have created plugins built not only for musicians looking to write and record their own demos, but also for audio engineers who know their craft and can utilize JST plugins as tools within their mix. And it is the Toneforge Misha Mansoor plugin that best exemplifies that balance. Alright, so right now we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna jump right into the plugin. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's jump in, let's grab a guitar, and let's jam out a little bit. Okay, so I have Toneforge open right now in Reaper. I'm using Reaper as my DAW. By the way, I love Reaper. I love what it can do. I love the customization of everything. Really dig it. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna look at this real quick. First, we got the Precision Drive by Horizon Devices. I first saw this at NAMM this past year. Absolutely loved this pedal, so I'm super stoked that it's available within the plugin. And then we have the Toneforge amp head. We have three different selections. We have clean, crunch, and lead. I'm gonna go through those three and show you guys what I use in my track, what I've been experimenting with, and so on and so forth. I just wanted to create a very basic tone that I would use for my main demos. We got something I've never seen before, and I actually did experiment with this a little bit. This is the character selection, and we have tight, saturation, and alright, I'm being annoying now. We have the tight, saturation, purr. Pretty much, I'm really digging the way these kind of adjust the tone. And then we have what I think is probably one of the more unique parts of the plugin, which is the gain knob. And the gain, you can go through, I believe it's 3 or 4 different preamps. This I did a lot of messing around with. So the gain knob I did do a lot of messing around. We have the top end, presence, range. I normally don't mess with the range too much, but the presence I did turn up a little bit. And then we got harmonics and compressor. I'm not big, like I said, I'm not really a mixer per se. So I didn't mess too much with the compressor. And then we got harmonics, which I think was really cool, a really cool addition to the plugin as well. So right now I have this one almost all the way up, and then you see this little button right here, go back to the amp. I missed this at first. I missed this when I first was testing this thing out. I just got to this right before I started recording my track. Turn it back, and there's a whole slew of knobs and buttons and magic going on back here. Obviously you have the gate. I should probably turn my gate down a little bit. I knew I had it up a little bit earlier. I've been messing with those. Then we got the ins and the outs. Didn't mess with these at all. Right, this little button right here, this is a really cool addition to tuner. You know, what can I say? You know, it does come in handy. You know, little off. It's all good. We're gonna get into the cabinets. By the way, I love the layout of this. I love how it just looks very serene, very calm. Don't quote me on this, but to me it kind of reminds me of Mr. Peabody's penthouse in the movie Peabody and Sherman. I'm a dad, I'm sorry, but that's what it reminds me of. But it's very comforting, very cool, very relaxed. I love the vibe. You get options between 4 different microphones per cabinet. So usually when you start the amp up, you're up with the JST match cab, which I did use this for some of the other effects. For the main distortion, I used a Pine PV with the Royale. What's funny is I'm not even that big of a thrash player, but for some reason I just like how the chucks sound a lot with a lot of these plugins. All right, cool. Effects, you get delay, chorus, reverb. You click on it, highlights it. I have lead settings, so I'll show you guys those in just a second. Chorus, go back, reverb. I want the X2, sweet. All right, and this is the post EQ selection. This is an area that I don't normally mess with, but I'll show you guys it anyways. This is something my producer did use a lot during our recordings. So yeah, you can adjust bass, lows, mids, trebles, get real into it if that's something you're really into. And then the topper, the compressor. And yeah, the compressor, like I said, for this video, I did mess around with the compressors a little bit, looking at the precision drive. I've never owned a precision drive before. I've never really owned any Horizon devices. This is the first time, but I have messed around with them a little bit. So I kind of remembered what I was using for that attack at a 2. I love to hear like the percussiveness and the picking. Volume about half. Let's turn about half. Bright at 35 and drive at 43, and then gate. The gate is pretty much all the way up, you know, because I love those stop-start kind of. There you go. That's a heavy tone right there. The crunch is actually my favorite part of what I was initially looking at. So for the crunch guitars for this track, I did use some reverb to it to just kind of try it out and see how it goes. And it actually added a really cool aesthetic to the riff and to just the overall tone. It added, like, you can just hear the layers behind it. Normally reverb, you know, you hear like a lot of sustain, but this just adds a lot of character to it. Like a... So for my crunch preset, I don't have the Horizon on. And yeah, I didn't really deviate too much from this one either. The presets on this one are very similar to the distortion, lows, mids, highs at about 1 o'clock. The character, everything's down. I just didn't have enough time to mess around with it too much as I probably would want to. But I am going to be getting more into this part. I did mess with the preamp a little bit with the gain knob. Let me see. Presence is about halfway, range off. Harmonics are turned down from the main distortion. Compressor, same thing. Enjoy having the effects on the crunch when I'm doing more arpeggios or more like palm muty arpeggios, you know. I did a little bit with this song. Just adds like a really nice build up, some really cool flavor, and the reverb in the back adds a lot of texture to it as well. And also too is I found that I actually enjoyed making leads a lot more with the crunch guitars with the delay on and the reverb on as well. So like just comes out a lot more clearer. You hear everything that's going on in the section. Like I said, I didn't mess around with these too much. Everything's at about midnight. Compressor, did not add the compressor to this one. And yeah, that's the crunch. But the reason I was so interested in the Toneforge Misha Mansoor plugin is because of the clean guitars. I'm a big Periphery fan, and I love their clean tones. I love their very ambient tones. So for this one, I knew already I was going to get killer distortion out of it. I knew I was going to get great gain, and it was going to have some well-balanced EQs. But the clean is what I really wanted, and that's stuff that I really experiment with the most. So let me go ahead, let me pull up the cleans. And I have everything on. I'm the kind of guitar player that whenever I do cleans, normally this is my basic setup: reverb, chorus, delay. This is basic what I do. Depending on the song will depend on what I take out, but whenever I jump into clean guitars and I want to make ambient effects, I usually have all three on at once. This one, Horizon Drive, is not on. And everything's at about 6 o'clock right here. Tight, saturation, per. Everything's off right here. The gain knob, that's kind of where I found the sweet spot of it. Try a condenser on that. I actually really enjoy that one. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so I've been using the Royer, but I think I just discovered the condenser. Holy hell. All right, cool. I'm actually enjoying that a lot. Wow, all right. That sounds really cool. Really, the possibilities are endless with this plugin. Even with just a basic clean crunch lead and with some of the basic tones that they give, it's more or less the cabinet selection, the effects section, and really the game knob and these three characters that give you a ton of different possibilities. So let's take it back to the heavy area. Hell yeah. All right, I'm really digging this. I'm digging this plugin a lot. Funny enough, I've had some time to experiment it, and I'm actually like finding even more things now that I'm doing this video than I was when I was making my songs, so that's pretty cool. Overall, I had a wonderful time experimenting with the Toneforge Misha Mansoor plugin. I feel that it has a lot to offer whether you're looking for heavy tones, shredding leads, or atmospheric guitars. Already, I'm gathering some ideas of where I could take the plugin next and where I can apply it to in regards to my own demos, my YouTube channel, as well as my band's upcoming recordings. Whether you're an amateur songwriter looking for click and play options for demoing purposes, or a producer looking for killer great plugins for your next big project, JST has you covered. I highly recommend the Toneforge Misha Mansoor plugin to any prog rock, gen, or just straight up metal guitarists looking for killer high gain and great mid-tones. I will be using this plugin on upcoming videos for my YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe because I got some killer content coming out very, very soon. God, I say killer a lot. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the JST YouTube channel as well for awesome tips, great demonstrations, and just informative content. Stay safe, guys, and remember, keep it heavy.